Sandy Smith has to deal with several issues today, as a mayor as well as a mother.
Mrs. Smith, here are those reports you asked me to compose. Thank you. Just leave them on my desk and I will read them later. Okay. But is there something wrong? You seem angry. Yes, but if I want to talk to you about it, I will. Right now, I'm trying to stay busy so I won't have to think about my personal problems. Now, dismissed. As you wish. What now? I was not expecting anyone. Robot, answer the door.
As you command.
Mayor Smith, my name is David Wallace, and I am a representative of the Christian Way Academies, a chain of private religious schools across the United States. Last year, the previous mayor, Ted Anderson, signed a deal with us to establish a new branch of our schools here in this town. Now we find out you canceled the contract. Why?
Mr. Wallace, that deal was made in bad faith. Pun intended. It was kept secret from the people of this town, and I only learned about it when I went through the documents in this office shortly after I became mayor. I then showed that signed document to the principal of the town's public high school, Mr. Hernandez, and he was as outraged at the secrecy behind the deal as I was. So I tore it up.
You think you can simply undo the deal just because your predecessor that you opposed made it? I don't think so. So we are filing a lawsuit against you in this town.
Go ahead. And when you do, we will settle that lawsuit quickly, but there will not be a Christian Way Academy in this town. Religion should be taught at home and at houses of worship, but not in institutions of general education like schools. You only want to do that to totally brainwash kids so they have no freedom to think for themselves. And I won't allow that. Now, get out of my office.
You heard the mayor's command. Leave now. You have 10 seconds to go. 10, 9, 8.
Welcome to the Tuscany Tavern. May I take your order? I'd like a small pizza with pepperoni and shredded onions. And a glass of water. And why are you looking at me like that? Surely this is not how you talk to most of your customers. Oh, sorry. Let me take your order to the cooks. Whitney Owen, the one who stole James from you, is here. Damn it. So she expects us to feed her after what she did to me?
Bella, Patty, calm down. Miss Owen is still a paying customer and should be served like any other. I will have another cook make the pizza for Miss Owen. Patty, come talk with me, in private. Several years ago, long before Debbie and Carrie became wives, they started out as best friends. Then they became love partners, just as you and James did. Then they broke up, because of a conflict regarding Carrie's father, and soon afterwards, Debbie hooked up with another girl, Laura Park. Carrie could have been angry over this and rejected both of them. But instead, she chose to forgive them both and remain Debbie's best friend. And later, Debbie realized she truly belonged with Carrie, and so she dumped Laura and returned to Carrie. And that led to them being married. Right now, you have a choice. To be the bigger person in this matter, just as Carrie was back then. I believe that if you truly loved James, you will not hate Whitney Owen, but forgive her. You did break up with James first, so he must have thought that you were giving him permission to be with Whitney. If that was not your intention, you should not have dumped him.
Maybe you are right. I just didn't expect him to hook up with Whitney so fast.
Clearly because they love each other too. But you were the one James' mother wanted him to be with. You have a chance now to talk things over with Whitney. She needs to know how you feel and what can be done about it. I will relieve you of your cooking duties for the rest of the afternoon. Dismissed.
Whitney, we need to talk. Now. Okay, have a seat. So what's going on? It seems quite a few people are looking at me like I'm a leper. You know that I broke up with James before he left for Harvard, right?
Yes.
I did that so he would feel free to date a fellow student at Harvard, but at the same time I hoped he might return to me eventually. But those hopes were dashed by you. I went into the forest to be alone and I saw you with him that very night. I was so devastated that he seemed to be as much in love with you as he ever was with me. I had no idea. And I feel like I have already lost him to you forever.
So that must be why people have been upset around me, including James' mother. Does everyone already know what James and I did?
So far, it is me, Bella, Lucy Sims, and Mrs. Smith. And none of us approve of what you did.
I am so sorry. I wasn't trying to break your heart. I told James to keep what we did a secret so you wouldn't be hurt by it. But I do love him and I would hope he someday chooses me to be his wife. But he could also choose you instead, and if he does, I can accept it and just be his friend. And yours too. Please, please forgive me, Penny. I don't want you to hate me.
All right, Whitney, I will forgive you. And James too.
Thank you. You are a much stronger and more beautiful person than me. Maybe I should just let James have you after all.
That's up to James. When he comes back to this town, he will have to choose one of us to be his wife. And when he makes that choice, the one he rejects must never try to steal him again. Deal?
Yes. You have a deal, Penny.